One of the main reasons why I fell in love with the New York Giants is its rich history. It's one of the oldest teams in the NFL, and Giants fans all across the world are celebrating its 100-year anniversary, or lack thereof. But regardless of how you feel about the team now, you can't deny the impact that the G-Men had on the NFL. Now, I'd like to sit here and talk about our glory days, but I really see no point in it. With the Giants currently sitting dead last of the 32 teams in the NFL, and the 2024 season being statistically one of the worst in franchise history, I think it's best that we start talking about the future. But before we think about the future, we have to address some barriers that might be holding us back. Some fans may tell you that Daniel Jones held us back, which could be true. Some fans may say that it's the head coach that's holding us back. And others may blame the GM like Shane or just the team in general. And even the owner has messages from planes hovering above MetLife. Every last one of those barriers is a barrier indeed. But Giants fans, I gotta keep it real. As a Giants fan, who I could proudly say that my fandom is at this point far from casual. And I've been getting to know other Giants fans, and I've been hearing their think pieces on certain matters when it comes to the team, and in particularly the quarterback position. And as I've been making my observations, I've got to thinking, are some Giants fans coming up with lame excuses to not draft our first black quarterback? Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't want there to be any misconceptions about what I'm saying. As it stands today, the New York Giants are projected to select the number 1 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. It's pretty obvious that our team needs a new quarterback, and the timing couldn't be any more perfect for someone like Cam Ward or Shadur Sanders. As surreal as it may seem, Giants fans are now living with the idea that our next starting franchise quarterback will most likely be a black man, and I think that makes a lot of us feel uncomfortable. Now, why would I say something like that? What Giants fans am I talking about? Who exactly is saying that the fans don't want a black quarterback? Well, see, that's kind of the point of this whole video. No one is actually saying that the Giants shouldn't draft a black quarterback. I found that many content creators and fans who voice their opinions, knowing we need a quarterback, are now using the excuse of the team being in no such position to do so. The idea of drafting a quarterback in the first round, why are so many fans walking that back now? Here are some other questions to think about. What should be priority number 1 for the first round on draft day? The quarterback. What is arguably the most important position in football? The quarterback. So, if all of that is true, and why are so many fans now saying to skip out on drafting a quarterback in the first round and then use it as capital and trade down? That idea just doesn't make sense to me. Why are so many fans now saying that instead of getting Shadur or Cam Ward, we need to select a quarterback in the 3rd or 4th round? Why? I think I have a reason why. I think drafting a quarterback in the first round is only a problem for some Giants fans because they're black. Many may see this video as complete garbage, but I am not having these thoughts out of thin air. Don't necessarily have to be black or white. I know that there are other Giants fans out there who feel me on this. I mean, look at some of the stuff that these people are saying. The GM and the head coach is trying to save their job. So it's not a genuine move, which I get it, but I don't think that's a valid reason to not draft a quarterback. They'll also say we already have a bad team. We have to address the other positions on the field before we draft a quarterback. I mean, that shit sounds silly. They also say drafting a quarterback with the way the Giants look right now will be ruining their player development. And let's not forget my favorite. We need to find a veteran quarterback until 2027 and then draft Arch Manning. Do y'all realize how dumb and counterproductive that stupid shit sounds? Here's the thing, Giants fans. The Giants have a 100-year history, and we are used to having a certain kind of guy at quarterback. You know, the clean-cut, good guy, all-American, white guy. Considering the history of the quarterback position, it's safe to assume that the reality of the Giants drafting a quarterback, a black quarterback, to start and lead the franchise in its 100 years is making a lot of you uncomfortable. Am I calling you a racist? No, I'm not calling anybody a racist. I'm not trying to incite any radical beliefs. I'm not even talking to just white or black fans. I'm just saying that We've had the same type of guy starting at quarterback for the New York Giants for so long that imagine going from this to this. I know this would be a culture shock, but it's nothing to feel uncomfortable or unsure about. You should be proud that in its 100-year history, the Giants are now in a position to make history again. I'm not saying draft a quarterback because he's black. No, I'm not saying that. You are a good quarterback, you should play for the Giants. I'm saying that we should give Shadur and Cam Ward a fighting chance. We have two highly qualified, top-notch quarterback prospects in the draft, and they both seem like viable options. So why not choose them? Me personally, I prefer Shadur Sanders. So many reasons to draft this dude, man. Like, number one, I could tell that he wants to be a Giant. Much like Travis Hunter, with his campaign for the Heisman Trophy, Shadur seems to have been on quite the campaign trail himself. Everything from playing catch in NYC with league neighbors to getting standing ovations at the Knicks game. I sense the feeling that Shadur really wants to be a New York Giant. Number two, you hear a lot of Giants fans say that, oh, how it'll be nice to have a generational quarterback. Well, if you're looking for someone generational, look no further. Shadur Sanders is the son of one of the most prolific NFL players who have ever played the game, Deion Sanders. Shadur has something in his pocket not many NFL players get to experience, okay? And that's being raised by not only a former NFL player, but this is Deion Sanders we're talking about. All of those inspirational videos and great speeches that has his team ready to run through a brick wall. Imagine being around that throughout your childhood, your teens, and of course, as your head coach for most of your college football career. I find it crazy that the same reason why you wait for Arch Manning is literally the same reason why you should want Shadur Sanders. Arch doesn't even have a lot of game tape, but Giants fans are sold on the kid. Why? I'll tell you why, Giants fans. It's because of his last name. It's crazy that we'd rather skip out on drafting a generational quarterback this year to draft Arch Manning in 2 years because of his last name. Here's what I think about drafting Arch Manning, right? We've already had Eli, and he has done more than what he needed to do to fulfill his legacy on the team. His jersey is among the greatest Giants to ever do it. And I feel like as Giants fans, we get too caught up in fairy tale ideas. We're so attached to 2007 and 2011 that we just go and get his nephew to fill his shoes. This is the same mistake Gettleman made when trying to draft Daniel Jones in hopes of replacing Eli Manning. Someone with the same type of demeanor, that nice guy, all-American, non-problematic white guy. Forget about Arch and let the guy go and build his own legacy elsewhere. Now, back to Shadur. Name the many quarterbacks in college who's had the opportunity to be mentored by Tom Brady, arguably the GOAT quarterback of the NFL. He's been mentored by him. If Shadur was a white guy, I'm sure many Giants fans will be 100% sold on him already. There will be no question about it. He is a Giant. There are so many other reasons that I could think of on why the Giants should draft Shadur, but for the sake of history, I want to lastly point this out. Imagine Shadur being picked number 1 overall by the New York Giants. That's history in the making already. I mean, this man played for Jackson State. I know he's at Colorado now, but this man played at an HBCU. Shout out to my little brother Terrell. He went to Jackson State, a black historical university. Along with Shadur Sanders comes with that HBCU pride and that HBCU history. All of these qualities about Shadur makes him more than qualified. But why are Giants fans still not sold? I think it's a black thing. Along with Shadur Sanders comes with a dynamic culture change. We need someone who isn't afraid to speak his mind, who challenge those around him and make his team better. Take Malik Neighbors, for example. I know a lot of Giants fans don't like his demeanor. They don't like how nonchalant he is or his attitude towards things. Listen, man, Malik Neighbors is from Louisiana. That's just how we are. But aside from that, Malik Neighbors has that demeanor because of the type of man he is. Are you aware that our team lacks excitement and a sense of pride? That dog? So many fans say that Shadur is too flashy and he's called out his offensive linemen and they don't want all of that in New York. I think all of that really means black. And I know I'm putting a lot of sauce on Shadur, but Cam Ward is a good dude too. He even would bring a dynamic culture change to New York. And he's not even as flashy as Shadur, but we're still coming up with excuses to not draft him. I think Giants fans are afraid of the reality of the black quarterback leading this organization because you know it's about to turn up. You know that if Shadur comes to New York, that whole nice guy shit, that clean cut, all American, that goes out the window. Even for Cam Ward, all of that goes out the window. So I did this video in hopes to, bring light. Yeah, I think it's time. Like I've seen the ideas floating around on Twitter and other, platforms where we talk about the possibility of the Giants drafting its first black quarterback. Many Giants fans believe that the Giants would never draft a black quarterback. Some Giants fans don't want a black quarterback. Other Giants fans don't give a damn. They just want a good quarterback. I'm just saying that Shadur or Cam Ward, they deserve their opportunity. I just think that it's silly to bring up the fact that our team isn't where it needs to be, and we'll mess up their player development. I just think that that's like one of the lamest excuses I've ever heard in my life. Well, of course the team is not where it needs to be. All of the best prospects from college are gonna go to the worst team because the worst team gets the first dibs on the draft. So what's the real issue here? Why are we finding so much issue with Shadur or Cam Ward? And this is not just, like I said, I'm not just grabbing these thoughts out of thin air. I'm actually getting this from somewhere, and from what I've observed from, what the fans are saying. I mean, I'm watching good content creators who know football are saying, yo, we do not have the team that we need to have Shadur or Cam Ward. We should build the team first and then get somebody in the 4th round. Like, so let me guess. Quinn Ewers, that's what y'all want? That's what y'all want? Nussmeier from LSU, that's who you want? Does that make you feel a little bit more comfortable? Does that make you feel better? I think the time is coming for a change. And yeah, I think that a black history is a beautiful history. And I don't think that any Giants fan should be afraid of that. So whether you like it or not, I think that the time has come that the Giants are going to select a black quarterback. Or the Giants is going to select the quarterback in the NFL draft, and he's just so happened going to be black. So get over it. All right? But I just wanted to share my 2 cents on that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think that it's a real idea that I'm having right now? Or do you think I'm just, am I just being like silly right now? I don't know, man. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. And once again, my name is James the Giant. I'm out. Peace.